Hello, my name is Bob Rivers. Welcome to Specialty Music Productions Beginning Harmonica. You are about to flag a ride on a harmonica train. If you listen closely to this video, follow the techniques and practice diligently, you may never get off this train. You may ride on and on, choking out notes into an endless horizon of musical fun. You see, the hard part to learning anything is getting past the discipline of mastering the fundamentals, which is what this video is designed to assist you in. The easy part is fine-tuning your skills and developing your own techniques, but that comes later, after you have improved your knowledge of the instrument and gained the self-confidence you need to enjoy wailing on a harp. It may take months of hard work and constant rehearsal to become proficient, but once you reach that level, you will garner more skills faster because you will absorb ideas easier. In this video, I will explain the fundamentals, how to hold the harp, what types to purchase, and basic musical theory relating to the harmonica. The remaining segments of the tape will offer selected melodies which will increase in difficulty as you proceed. I recommend that you learn each one completely before you go on to the next selection. Because you have a video, you can advance at your own speed. It may take hours, it may take weeks, but you must be dedicated to doing it this way because once you can play it perfectly and completely from memory, you are on your way to mastering the instrument. To learn how to improvise and jam with a blues or country guitar player, you must understand the instrument. Your mind has to know subconsciously where the hole is for the next note before you blow it, not afterward. In this video, you will need a diatonic harmonica tuned to the key of C major to play along to the music. The diatonic harmonica has 10 holes. Each hole allows air to pass over two separate reeds, causing a blow note or a draw note to sound. The exhale or blow notes are all on one reed plate, and the inhale or draw notes are on the other. If a reed should become stuck, simple maintenance is to use a razor blade to clear out any debris that may gather. One way to avoid saliva buildup that can cause damage is to hit the instrument against the palm after playing for an extended period. If you are unable to repair the harp with a razor blade, you can obtain replacement plates directly from the manufacturer for less than replacing the entire harp. The reed plates are bolted to the harmonica's comb. There are wooden, metal, and plastic combs. The metal ones are expensive. The wooden ones are favored most by blues professionals because of their tones. I recommend the plastic ones for beginners because of their durability, sound, and also because they are less expensive. But no matter which type you prefer, always keep your harp in its box when not using it. Never soak it in water. Soaking a harp in water will shorten its life considerably. Although many excellent harp players hold the harp upside down, the most common application is with the bass or lower notes to the left. If you cup your hands as though to hold water, you will come to realize that you can hold air in there as well, especially if your harp is placed between the V of your index finger and thumb like this. By holding and releasing or muffling the air in your hands, you can create vibrato or wah-wah effects. There are two ways that the single note can be sounded. The easiest is to purse your lips as though you were drinking a soda through a straw. Your tongue does not touch the reed plate and your lips cover around only a single note. This method is used mostly by blues harp players because it's easier to bend the note. The other method is called tongue blocking. Here the mouth covers 4 holes and the tongue blocks 3 holes, so only 1 hole is open for the air to pass through. This method is used frequently by professionals, especially chromatic harmonica players. This method is more difficult to learn, although aversion to tongue blocking can create interesting chords where the tongue may only block 2 holes, allowing 2 notes to be sounded. In this case, the air escapes from both sides of the mouth. To shape the sound as you blow or draw into the harp, it's easier if you speak the vowels E and O as you blow. Or you can use words such as wah or we for draw notes and do or ah for blow notes. By doing this, you change the sound of the note. For blow notes, do, ah. For draw notes, wah, we. The first lesson will incorporate these first statements. Take your harp and place it properly in your hand. Concentrate on pursing your lips and saying the word do as you blow in number 2, and say the word wah as you draw in number 2. Now try blocking the first 3 holes with your tongue, but cover the first 4 with your mouth. Now use your hands to get a tremolo or wah-wah effect. Now turn off the video and play different variations using your hands, your lips, wiggle your tongue, and use the words woo, wah, do, do, e, whatever you like. Familiarize yourself with the instrument. Get accustomed to using your hands. It may take a while, but you must learn the pursed lip method so that you can play single notes. Do any kind of jamming you want, but make sure you are comfortable and are becoming accustomed to the instrument before you proceed. Here's an example of what I mean. Although a chromatic harmonica is used in some blues recordings by Little Walter and many pop tunes by Stevie Wonder, it's the diatonic 10-reed harmonica that you hear in the majority of recorded music: blues, country, folk, bluegrass, and rock. In order to understand the different scales and where the notes can be found on the reed plate of your harp, let's look at a piano keyboard. Since we are using a harmonica tuned to C, it is easy to see that the diatonic or major scale of C is all the white keys. The black keys denote the half steps or sharps and flats of the chromatic scale of C. The major scale of C on your harmonica starts at hole number 4 blow. Since you have already taught yourself how to sound a single note, let's sound the note of C by blowing out on hole number 4. Now the next note of the C major scale is D, which is found by drawing in on hole number 4. Let's try that. Now let's do the same on hole number 5. Blow for the tone of E and draw for the tone of F. Now let's go back and analyze what we just did. From blowing hole number 4 to drawing hole number 4, we moved a whole step from C to D. The C sharp is not there unless we bend the reed, which we will discuss later. The C sharp is not part of the C major scale. Now when we progress from drawing hole number 4 to blowing hole number 5, we also moved a whole step. But when we moved from blowing hole number 5 to drawing hole number 5, we went only a half step. The reason for this is the 8 tones of the major scale have half steps between the 3rd and the 4th tones, and also between the 7th and 8th tones. On a keyboard, there is a space where no black key exists, as you can see here and here. Now we continue the scale by blowing hole number 6 and then drawing hole number 6. The tones are G and A respectively. But now the sequence changes because of the design of the instrument. In order to have the 8th note of the scale remain a blow note, the blow-draw order for this whole has been reversed. In other words, the 8th note of the scale is a C and must be a blow note. For this reason, the 7th note of the scale, that is, the B note, is sounded by drawing hole number 7 first. Then to complete the scale, you would of course blow hole number 7 for the C note. So a major diatonic scale as sung, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, is built into the harmonica starting at blow number 4, then draw number 4, blow 5, draw 5, blow 6, draw 6, draw 7 first, and then blow 7. An ascending scale would sound like this. And a descending scale would sound like this. It is important to understand that regardless of what harmonica you are using, the layout for all harmonicas are the same. If you look at this diagram, you will see the layout for a C harmonica. Since we are playing a C harp, the C tones are blow 1, 4, 7, and 10. If we were playing a G-tuned harmonica, the G tones would be found at blow 1, 4, 7, and 10. The diatonic G scale would also begin at blow 4 and end at blow 7. As you can see on the keyboard, the G scale has an F sharp in it, but it is still a diatonic scale. Your next exercise is to play the scale ascending and descending several times until you are used to it. Straight harp is played because you want the emphasis on blow notes. You want your playing to be soft and sweet and close to the melody. To help you learn the upcoming tunes, transcriptions of the songs are enclosed outlining which holes to play. This is harmonica tablature, and it's written directly under the music staff. Since you'll be learning to play the harmonica by ear, it's not necessary that you learn to read music. However, the music notation is provided for timing purposes. You will need to know how long to hold the note you play from the tablature. Harmonica tablature is very easy to read. There are 10 holes in a diatonic harmonica, although there are many more notes available. As you can see in this line of harmonica tab, the numbers represent one of the holes, 1 through 10. The numbers that are not circled are blow notes. The numbers that are circled are draw notes. Here's how this tab should sound when played. When we discuss cross harp and bending notes, the tablature will show a number circled with either 1, 2, or 3 tails at the bottom. As you can see here, the number 4 circled with 1 tail means that you should bend hole 4 draw 1/2 step. The number 4 circled with 2 tails means you should bend hole 4 draw 2/2 steps, also known as a whole step. The number 3 circled with 3 tails means you should bend hole 3 draw 3/2 steps, or in other words, 1.5 steps. It's important to be able to count the time as you are playing the harmonica from tablature. The best way to do this is by memorizing the time values of the music notes corresponding to the tablature numbers below the music staff. The music staff is divided by bar lines into equal sections of time called measures. The time signature indicates how many beats or counts are in each measure. 4/4, also known as common time, has 4 counts to a measure as indicated by the top number. The bottom number indicates what kind of note receives 1 count. 3/4, also known as waltz time, has 3 counts per measure, and a quarter note receives 1 count. A whole note has 4 counts. It takes only 1 whole note to fill a measure in 4/4 time. A half note has 2 counts. It takes 2 half notes to fill a measure in 4/4 time. A quarter note has one count. It takes 4 quarter notes to fill a measure in 4 quarter time. A dotted note extends the time value of a note by half of its original time value. For example, a dotted half note receives 3 counts. A dotted quarter note receives 1.5 counts. An eighth note receives 1/2 count. When a note needs to be played and held for longer than the duration of a note's time value, a tie is used to link it to another note's time value. For this example, the note would be played and held for a total of 6 counts. Turn to Amazing Grace in your booklet. We will play it in first position, the key of C, so you can familiarize yourself with the tablature. Notice how sweet and subtle straight harp, also known as first position, can sound. Amazing Grace is written in 3/4 time, so remember, there are 3 beats to a measure. Now we will do it in phrases. Phrase 2. Phrase 3. Phrase 4. Our next song is called When the Saints Go Marching In. It's written in 4/4 time. Remember, there are 4 beats per measure. When you learn this song, apply the tongue blocking method that was introduced earlier. Now we would demonstrate this phrase by phrase. Phrase 2. Phrase 3. Phrase 4. Phrase 5. Phrase 6. The next song we will cover is Yellow Rose of Texas. It is in 2/4 time, so you will count 1, 2, 1, 2. It's like a 4/4 beat, but you put an emphasis on the first and third beats, like this: 1, 2, 1, 2. This song is a challenging exercise with the higher notes. As you can see in the booklet, it starts on blow 6, and it will give you practice in playing wide leaps. You have to go from draw 6 to draw 9 on one beat in the last line. Now let's do Yellow Rose phrase by phrase. Phrase 2. Phrase 3. Phrase 4. Phrase 5. Phrase 6. Phrase 7. Phrase 8. If you feel comfortable, let's do one more song in the straight harp position that is a tad more difficult. This song is called Dixie. Now let's play it phrase by phrase. Phrase 2. Phrase 3. Phrase 4. Phrase 5. Phrase 6. Phrase 7. Phrase 8. Phrase 9. Phrase 10. Phrase 11. Phrase 12. Phrase 13. Phrase 14. Most all popular songs are written in a 1-4-5 chord progression. This includes bluegrass, country, folk, and blues. The foundation of these songs rests upon 3 main chords. The tonic chord, which is the same key you are playing in, the subdominant, which begins 4 notes above that, and the dominant, which begins 5 notes above the tonic. On a C harmonica, any 3 notes we blow at the same time is a C chord. If we blow holes 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 4, or 6, 7, and 8, we are blowing a C chord. If we draw holes 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 4, we are drawing a G chord, or the dominant. The subdominant chord is an F, which can only partially be sounded by drawing holes 5 and 6 together. This is the basis of playing straight harp, or first position. If the tonic chord is a C, that is the key the song is in. That is also the key that your accompaniment will be in. To play cross harp, or second position, we put emphasis on draw notes. The idea here is that we want the tonic and dominant notes to be draw notes so that we can flatten and slur them to get that wailing and bluesier sound. When you play cross harp, the tonic and dominant notes will always be on draw 2 and draw 4. On the C harmonica that we're using, draw 2 is a G and draw 4 is a D. This means if the guitar is playing in the key of G, we can play in the same key using a C harp. This is called cross harp playing. The reason we can do this is because the G major scale can be found in the C harmonica. All we have to do is find it. We know it starts at draw 2, which is the G note. We also know there is a half step between the 3rd and 4th and the 7th and 8th tones of any major diatonic scale. So that means the next note is an A. However, there is no A in hole 3. Well, there really is an A there, but you have to bend a reed in order to sound it. Bending a note, also called choking a note, can be accomplished by dropping the tip of your tongue down to the bottom of your mouth and forcing air to the back of your throat with added pressure. This slows down the vibration of the reed, causing the tone to go flatter or down in pitch. You can't bend every reed. Only holes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 can be bent on a draw. Hole 2 draw can be bent down 2 half steps from a G to an F. Hole 3 draw can be bent down 3 half steps. Bending a note has to be done with the pursed lips technique, not tongue blocking. What we are doing is this. Now with pressurized inhaling towards the roof of the mouth in order to bend the note. It almost sounds like the music is making an art, like a trombone slide. To locate the A of the G scale, we bend the reed in hole number 3 from a B to an A, which is a whole step. You'll also see by looking in your booklet that holes 8, 9, and 10 can be bent by blowing, not drawing. Playing bent notes on the high end is advanced harp playing, but at least you understand how to do it. To learn more, you should listen to recordings of Jimmy Reed, who is a true master. I have shown you how to bend a note down. What if you have to sound the bent note first? In that case, you have to be ready to draw with pressure as your lips come over the hole. Let's sound the B note on hole 3, draw, and then the A, and then back to B again. Learn how to start with the bent note first. Release the pressure slowly so that the normal tone is again sounded, which is the B. Practice this before continuing. Another more advanced technique is to separate the half-step tones, especially in hole 3, which can be bent 3 half steps down. Now you should understand the rudiments of bending a note. Let's examine this diagram. It shows that the G scale starts at draw 2 or blow 3. The second note is A, found by drawing hole 3 down a full step. The third note is B, found at draw 3 using normal pressure. The fourth note, or subdominant, is C, or blow 4. The fifth note, or dominant, is D, which is draw 4. Next is blow 5 in E, and draw 5 in F. The actual note in the G scale is F sharp, which can't be sounded. So this is as close as you can get to the actual scale. To complete the scale, blow hole 6, which is a G note. In order to select the correct harmonica for the key you'll be playing cross harp in, you will need to choose one that is tuned 2 1/2 steps above the key you want to play in. You can count in half steps like this: G, A sharp, A, B flat, B, C, or you can think of it like this: choose a harp tuned to the subdominant chord. Since G is the tonic, or 1 chord, the subdominant is the 4 chord, or C. If you want to play in the key of E, you would use an A harmonica. The chart in your booklet provides a quick reference of which key harmonica to choose when playing cross harp. Now that you understand a little of the music theory as it's applied to playing cross harp, let's play Amazing Grace again, this time in the key of G. As you can see in the booklet, it starts on hole number 4 draw. Now we will play it phrase by phrase. Phrase 2. Phrase 3. Phrase 4. Another song that should be easy to learn in the cross position is Saints Go Marching In. Make sure you master the bent notes in this tune before continuing. Now we will play Saints phrase by phrase. Phrase 2. Phrase 3. Phrase 4. Phrase 5. Phrase 6. On Yellow Rose of Texas, there are 2 ways of playing it that you should be familiar with. First, let's play it in the key of G, starting with draw 4, which is a D, and ending on blow 6, which is a G. Now we will play Yellow Rose, phrase by phrase. Phrase 2.
Phrase 3. Phrase 4. Phrase 5. Phrase 6. Phrase 7. Phrase 8.
Earlier we played Yellow Rose in the key of C, or straight harp, beginning with blow 6. It can also be played an octave lower, starting with blow 3. As you can see in the booklet, this version involves bending some notes to play the melody. It's in the lower register of your harp, and it's an example of a bluesy version, but in first position. Now we will play Yellow Rose, phrase by phrase.
Phrase 2. Phrase 3. Phrase 4. Phrase 5. Phrase 6. Phrase 7. Phrase 8.
The final scale we will cover is the blues scale. You can use the notes of this scale for fills or solos in most blues progressions, but it takes practice. When playing blues harp, what gives it that distinctive sound, that wailing, mournful sound, is that the third and seventh notes of the scale are flatted or played a half step lower. These are called blue notes. Naturally, this creates a new scale, which is called the blues scale. The G blues scale on a C harmonica is based on the G major diatonic scale. Look at this diagram of the G blues scale, and you will see that it also starts at draw number 2. However, the next tone, A, is omitted. The third note, B, is flatted, so you have to bend hole 3, draw 1/2 step to a B flat. The fourth tone, C, is blow 4. The next note is a C sharp, or D flat, found by bending hole 4 down 1/2 step. The D, or dominant note, is draw 4. The sixth note, E, is omitted, and the seventh is flatted, which is an F natural and is found at draw 5. The final note, G, is blow 6. I will now play the notes of the blues scale. The interesting thing about cross harp is that the dominant chord, D7, when the tonic is G, has an F sharp in it. But there is no F sharp on a C harmonica. But by drawing hole 5, we get an F natural, which is flatting the dominant chord, the flatted 7th, a built-in blue note. So the blues scale, no matter what harp you use, has 2 bent notes. These are holes 3 and 4 draw. You should now stop the video and practice ascending and descending until you are comfortable with the changes of this scale. We are going to study 3 different blues progressions. The licks we are going to play against these progressions utilize notes taken from the blues scale. In each blues progression, I will play the licks as they are transcribed in your booklet to guitar accompaniment. Then the guitar will continue back through another time so you can play along. Find blues progressions number 1 in your booklet and follow along. Now we will do it phrase by phrase.
Phrase 2. Phrase 3. Phrase 4.
When playing the blues, you don't always sound a note of resolution. This creates tension. That's what the blues is all about. Blues progression number 2 is a slow blues of 12 measures. You will count it 1, 2, 3, 4, but much slower. In your booklet, you will see some groups of 16th notes that must be played on the same beat. You will also hear the harp re-enter the progression on the 4th beat of a measure. As you'll see, it's not always on the first. Follow along as I play blues progression number 2. Now we'll play it phrase by phrase.
Phrase 2. Phrase 3. Phrase 4. Phrase 5. Phrase 6. Phrase 7. Phrase 8.
Blues progression number 3 has a country blues feel to it. It's different from the others in that we stay on the dominant chord for 2 measures instead of 1 before going back to the tonic. Here, we'll play a blues melody. Now we will play it phrase by phrase.
Phrase 2. Phrase 3.
As you may have noticed in the straight harp segment, some of the songs ended with a holding of the final note. This is a clean, subtle way of ending a song. However, sometimes you may want to end one with a flourish. This can be a lot of fun, but always remember to end on the tonic note. Here is a typical bluegrass ending where you slide into the note. Here's a nice blues ending using the tongue blocking method for chords. What you do there is you move your tongue sideways at a fast pace. Another simple blues ending would be to hold that note, use your hands in a vibrato. Another position that I want to mention is third position. This scale is a minor scale, also called the Dorian scale or slant harp. To determine which harp to use, count down 1 full step from the key the guitar is in. If the guitar is in D minor, you would use a C harmonica. If the guitar is in F, you would use an E flat harmonica to play in that key. As you can see in this diagram, the D minor scale on a C harmonica starts at draw 4, the D note, and continues to draw 8, a D note 1 octave higher. Follow along in your booklet as I play the D minor scale. Another thing about third position is that it can add another dimension to blues accompaniment. There are certain notes of the C scale that are draw notes on an F harp. The entire C chord, notes C, G, and E, are all draw notes. This is more advanced harmonica playing, but it's something you need to know. To find which harp to use, count 5 half steps above the second position harp. That is, if the guitar is in G, you know that second position is a C harp. Well, 5 half steps above that would be C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F. So we would use an F harp to play third position blues in the key of G. If the guitar is in D, second position would be a G and third position would be a C. If you are having trouble selecting the correct harp, you can reference the chart in your booklet for clarification. The C major scale is relative to the A minor scale. As you can see in this diagram, there are no sharps or flats in the A minor scale either. So a C harmonica can also be used to play songs in A minor. This is called fourth position. Now I will demonstrate the A minor scale slowly. This concludes our instruction for now. Remember that once you understand the theory of positions and scales with the C-tune harmonica, it will be very easy to apply these same patterns to other tunings. Listen to some of the great harmonica recordings. Experiment constantly with their licks and your own licks until you see your own style emerging. When performing with others, remember to not overplay. In closing, let me say that playing harmonica can add much enjoyment to your life. Keep one with you at all times. It can be your best friend.